Be calling you a radical. So we got red glows in the Pacific Ocean. You can't mention the word Fukushima because the psycho right just makes shit up. What the crew of Alex Jones and Freak Show did with Fukushima is beyond disgusting. Here, come buy some water filters. I mean, you could look it up. Twice he was asked. Mutually exclusive of each other. Why won't you have the world's most foremost expert on Fukushima? The only guy that's got it right, Kevin Blanch, on your show. Fuck what he did. And then as soon as his Lord and Savior Trump become God, he never mentioned it again. And then the left. Mommy said I was smart. Nuclear's going to save the world. Do you have erectile dysfunction? It will save it. Mommy lied to you. Fukushima is the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. But you've got it paradigmed into this freak show. Because of Price Anderson and the Department of Energy have so much money, it just proves. Alternative media is 10 times worse than mainstream media. And that's saying a lot. Mainstream media is pathetic, especially in the United States. You know, I'm the opposite of conspiracy theory. I don't do conspiracy. Never did. I knew these were meltdowns day one. I'd written paper after paper at Weber State before I got blackballed because they built it. Utah Structural, which is GE, built these reactors. I knew Mach 1, Mach 2 couldn't handle a shake over 7.8. I knew it. I knew it was a 9. I knew the cores were fractured immediately. I knew these were Arnie Gundership, Helen Caldecott, Chris Busby, all of them. I have their emails. I have their comments. They all attacked me. These are hydrogen. No, they're not. These are full-blown out meltdowns. I knew they were day one. And what did I get for it? I got attacked. I got slandered. The United States Department of Energy, the NEI, hired teams of trolls, and I proved it. I went to the FBI. I proved it. I went to the Attorney General in Utah. What did they do? They spit in my face. You know, while it's going to give. I was in critical. I got cancer in the fall of 2011, which a lot of people did from Fukushima. The plume come over us. They lied to us. Obama on Jimmy Kimmel in 2016 called it a typhoon. Now think about that. I know what happened in the Situation Room. It's been the biggest cover-up in human history. This is the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. But don't mention it. Oh, you can't even say the F word. The nuclear energy crime city. And think about everybody that's gone along with this fairy tale. Lie. And it's nothing but a lie. You know, here we're going to say more pork, more pork, more. My favorite's the SMRs. I fought the SMR. Utah's the first municipality on earth to fund these things. $500 million we've paid. If you pay a light bill. For this fairy tale lie, they don't exist. They never will. We just keep throwing more money. Under Price Anderson, the Immunity Act, they don't have to pay it back. Gates, Bezos, Musk, they all know this. They all know just make a company, a shell company, file for, pork, and the Department of Energy, which is the Department of Energy, will just flood to you. Just throw money, and you don't have to pay it back under any circumstance. It's free, it's the easiest way on earth to become a multi-billionaire. Is nuclear energy pork. It's the greatest lie in human history. So these red glows in the Pacific Ocean. Fukushima, as I named Delmar syndrome. Oh, did they dump some nuclear? It wouldn't glow red. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? Huh? There's no freaking... Okay. And I remember everybody used to just argue me and just slander me and attack. Oh, you're crazy, Blanche. This isn't not... Will you believe me when the tide pools collapse? Think about my tide pool work alone. Me on my Nobel Prize. Think about my salmon work alone. Think about the Great Salt Lake. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the western United States. All started in... I named the greatest drought in 1,200 years. In 2011, 2012. My Spiral Jetty videos talk about historic. My work is so incredibly historic. I think about it, and I live in abject poverty. Fucking drive an old beat-up piece of shit fucking car. I mean... Can't pass them. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Dedicate my life to the greatest fucking PhD in human history. And I took it. Right down to my own cat. Slandered and attacked. Felony. I mean, we went to the FBI, proved it. They hired just dozens of whole YouTube sites. By the dozens. Facebook pages. 100% objective to slander Kevin Blanch while he's in critical condition, full of AML leukemia, given 2 months to live, which are felonies in all 50 states. But they're the untouchables. I mean, so you're just... The internet's all about... Fukushima has proved how ignorant the American populace is. Mommy said I was smart on the left. Mommy fucking lied to you. The right, they just make shit up. You know, it's a freak show. I mean, you look back in the Fukushima days, and I look at everybody that took it on, whatever, for all the wrong reasons. They were selling you survive. They became filthy, stinking rich off it. And then their Lord and Savior, Trump. I asked Trump to his face, you going to talk Fukushima? And he said yes. Did he? Never mentioned it once. Barry Antoinette Obama, we want to keep you in the know, in the Rose Garden. He never met, well, he did mention it on Jimmy Kimmel in the fall of 2016. Well, they woke me up in the middle of the night on the Fukushima, on the typhoon, and called it a typhoon. Just the greatest, a typhoon? A 9-point fucking earthquake with a fucking tsunami that went in miles. Fucking gigantic, probably the greatest ecological catastrophe, well, one of them in world history. Well, no doubt, the Fukushima meltdowns. I knew they were meltdowns day one, and their answer's been to push it in the oil, and you're okay. So you're telling me there's no byproduct for 3 full core meltdowns, not to mention the spent fuel that was all over in all those units. Those spent fuel pools blew to smithereens. They went into Zerk fire, they burnt. The plume came over, so their answer's been enough water. The first 6 days, the plume just hammered. Now we know the jet stream right here. I was working on the Wasatch of Utah when I got cancer. I was given 2 months to live. Just the fact that I went into the bone marrow transplant center on 11/11/11. I mean, it's the greatest story in human history. My fight and my struggle, our fight, our struggle. You think about it. Fucking Mike Lee kicks me off Medicaid. One, I'm in a bone marrow transplant, clinging to life. I forked over $1 million, a Tesla stock. Fuck, think about this, that dynamic of it alone. You know, clinging to fucking life. I get kicked off Medicaid while I'm in a bone marrow transplant center after I forked over fucking $1 million. And then my heart fails from the chemo. My aortic valve went, and I go to Ogden Regional Medical Center, and a guy named Michael Hogg, who's not even, told me to go see my dentist. I collapsed in my yard. My aortic valve failed. I had emergency open heart surgery. The trolls and the freaking freaks that they've hired are attacking me when I'm in an ICU doing videos. Thank God I had my daughters post videos, my grandsons take videos and post them on my YouTube site while I'm fucking, my chest is split open. Then my gallbladder, I have no safety net, kicked off Medicaid, had no money, I tax slandered, fucking, just my credit score absolutely obliterated because of one thing, medical debt. And I get by with a little, fuck, you think what this small teeny army? The red glow in the Pacific Ocean. Don't even mention the word Fukushima. They have socially engineered to think, you think that nuclear energy is Jetsons. You think that nuclear energy is some kind of sci-fi, Wi-Fi, or conspiracy. I'm the opposite of conspiracy theory. Fucking, I'm one of these show me guys. I showed you the dead typos. I showed you the acute collapse of the Great Salt Lake. I showed you the salmon collapse in real time as it happened. That's what great PhDs do. First you hypothesize the knowledge, then you do the field work, then you defend your work. That's what I did for all these years. These are full-blown out nuclear meltdowns on March 11th. Gunderson, Keldicott told me to my face in the New York Medical Academy, when I'm full, you can't say the F word. I'm sitting with Noam Chomsky. He's like, everybody told the line. Busby, you should have seen the emails I have from him. When I'm in this bone marrow transplant center in critical condition going in and out of a coma. How about my sin and Onofre work? How about all that work? How about my freaking Utah Energy Solutions fucking work? How about my work at the IEA in Vienna? All with no fucking money. In critical, this is the greatest PhD in human history. And you're going to tell me, oh no, the Pacific Ocean's fine. No, it's not. No, it's not. This acute rattle. Fuck, we have the fucking regressionary data now. You can plug in, it'll show you an outliner of 2011. So you're telling me there's no byproduct from full blown out fucking nuclear meltdowns and MOX fuel, spent fuel, the fucking one of the biggest loads on the face of the fucking earth, spewed all over and pushed into the Pacific Ocean for 4,000 fucking 160 days. You're telling me there's no byproduct for that? Fuck, that's the greatest mental illness in human. Of course there's a byproduct. The greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. For every action, there's a reaction. What a reaction. The Great Pacific Genocide. The greatest PhD in human history. So these red glows in the fucking Pacific Ocean don't even mention anything nuclear. Fucking, we just dump. Huh. Okay. You go live in your fucking fairy tale. You live in your fucking lies. You live in your profit zone. You live in your fucking unbelievable. Not me. No. When a doctor looks you right in the eye, says, get your a good doctor. You'll be dead within 2 months, which they told me almost 11 years ago. fucking, I have AML de Novo OS. It's unsurvivable. Too sick for a transplant. Walk the entire coast of California with platelets of fucking 30. Who can do that? Sleep in a sleep bag. I still do it, by the way. I'm 62 years old with a replaced aortic valve. My gallbladder fucking infected, ruptured, fucking almost killed me. Had my teeth. I mean, what I've gone through. But, fuck me. Fuck me. And they can slander me. They can attack me. They can viciously go me. They can financially destroy. Just the fuck. Gang stalk me. You think about this path. Whole YouTube sites, whole Facebook pages, 100% dedicated to slandering a guy in Critical Edition, trying to report the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history, just doing the greatest PhD in human history. And I'm not a Radio Gaga. All we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio Gaga. Oh, I'm not that. I've done the work. I'll continue to do it. I'll get by I don't know. What a burden. I think about it. I'm happy to be alive. Alive and kicking. Thank you everybody for supporting this historic work. I don't give up. My doctor says it best. Freedom Eisenblatt in Vienna, Austria said it on the 200th anniversary of Waterloo. I'm at her house. She set up a meeting with me. She was full of cancer, dying, didn't tell anybody. The greatest anti-nuclear activist that ever lived in Europe. Kevin, it never picked you or I. We never picked it, excuse me. It picked us. It picked you. I know your path. I know your father's path. Don't you drop the spear. You go. You're the guy. Yeah, look what I'm up against. The pioneers of YouTube have been literally eaten by the very monsters that we created. 81% of YouTube are bots. What they've done, and I just keep freaking fighting every day. One day at a time. What a horrific struggle. Just predicted the greatest drought in 1200. I predicted all this. Not to mention the field work. Not to mention defend the work. Someday, this is the greatest PhD in use history. Futonium theory. Stay tuned.